Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and in a short video, I'm going to cover the Frosty Peaks Tournament par 3s. The reason I'm doing a separate video for the par 3s is because I was able to pick up a hole-in-one on 2 of the 3 holes, and I can really teach you how to get the other hole-in-one as well. So I think that's going to be a significant advantage by having this in one clean spot. Now, these will also be in the full rookie walkthrough, which is going to come out right after this. But hey, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers. We are exactly 50 subscribers away from that milestone. So help me out. And if you like this video, if you find it helpful and informative, then please give me that quick thumbs up. Now, on this particular video, I'm going to talk about how I figure out elevation and also like 11:59 pull angle, which is going to come important. I would say that I get a lot of messages on how do I figure out elevation, and can I describe more about pull angles, even though I've done that before in videos past. But hey, we pick up new subscribers every time, so let's go ahead and explain it. But we're going to start off here, and we're going to start off on hole number 3. And as you can see here, we're going to play this one 20% elevation at mid distance of our club, as long as the wind is over 4 miles an hour. And you're going to see why. This was my first attempt at the hole. So, let's break this down for a second. You can see here, we're using a power 2 ball. We're doing 20% elevation, and the wind is 3.4 miles an hour. So that means we're going to pull this shot 3.7 rings. I decide to do 2 bars of right side spin and about 0.9 top spin. And then, as always, on qualifying, I put my ball guideline through the hole, as you can see right there, just to make sure that I do get the speed to get to the pin. That way, if I miss, I'm able to work on that. But regardless here, there's that 3.7 ring pull. We do get the perfect shot, which is always key. Can't fix something if you don't hit perfect. You can see here we get a nice smooth roll, and we're able to sneak it into the left-hand side of the cup there. So, hey, you know what? We'll take it. That's a hole-in-one on your first shot, first attempt. So I hop over to my other rookie account here, and we're going to see here that the wind is 4.4. So you're going to see me pull this 4.7 rings. Because, again, we're playing 20%. We're playing at medium distance of our club. Same spin adjustments, because I know that spin adjustment was dead on. The speed was great to the pin. So I don't have to change anything there. Got the ball guideline going through the hole. We hit another perfect ball, so all you can ask for is to hit perfect on both of your tries. Now here you're going to notice that we just missed this one to the left-hand side of the cup, so we burn it right there instead of dropping it on the left-hand side of the cup. So what do? I put right here, if your wind is over 4 miles an hour, you want to change this to 25% elevation. If I would have played this at 25% elevation, that would have forced me to pull my rings 0.2 more, which would have got me into the cup. So that is how I mess around with elevation during a tournament. And I'll give you an even better example of that right here on hole number 5. So hole number 5, we're going to play 15% elevation. We're going to play it at mid distance of our club. Now you can see here the way that I'm aiming is I got my red ring sort of up against the rough line here. With my ball guide line, I'm trying to visualize it pointing at the hole. I decided to not use any spin at all to see what would happen, to see if the ball kicks up here with the tailwind. All right, so now on this one, we're playing a power 1 ball. We're playing 15% elevation. We're using this club. So I'm going to end up pulling this one 2.2 rings. Hit a perfect ball. which means at least we get to learn from the shot if we miss. And we did. So we barely missed. So, by pulling 2.2 rings to the left, it was just a little bit too much of a pull. So, does that mean the elevation is wrong? No. It means we could move our target and use the same elevation and try to figure out the hole-in-one, or we can just mess with the elevation, because that's something we can do too. So let's just say that I would have played this at 0% elevation. So instead of 2.2 rings, I only end up pulling this 1.9. Now clearly, if I just barely missed to the left-hand side, if I pull less rings, if I would have pulled 1.9 instead of 2.2, we are 100% talking about a hole-in-one, because we know the speed was perfect. We know that aiming at that particular spot on the green, we get a really good roll. The only thing we did was just pull too many rings. So what I would do if I were you is two things. One, you can go ahead and use this exact same setup. So that setup was golden. You can see here that the end of my ball guideline is in that dark green row. And it's sort of favoring the left-hand side of the dark green patch. That little dark green square there is favoring the left-hand side. If you aim here, right, and you pull at 0% elevation with this 4.2 mile per hour wind, we would have been talking about a hole-in-one. Or you can go ahead and play the 15% elevation, but what you would need to do then is move your target area over to the right-hand side. So we would probably want to move the tip of that ball guideline more to the middle right of the dark green square. That's also another way that I figure out elevation. Now, this would really be more important in the older golf class tournament format, to where if we were going to get the exact same wind angle in round 1, round 2, and round 3, we'd be looking to dial this shot in for a hole-in-one, and this would almost be as automatic as a hole-in-one in the old school format as possible. But that's not the case. This is only going to be this wind angle for round number 1. But I'm just trying to help everybody get as close as possible and to get that hole-in-one, and that's what I would do. So there's a couple different ways you can go about this hole, and that is me walking you through how I figure out elevation and how I figure out how to get my shots to go into the hole. Now, we're going to talk about this hole. This is going to be hole number 7. There's two things in the game that can make a shot easy for you, and that is either getting perfect headwind or perfect tailwind. Now, on this shot, you can see here, we're about as perfect to headwind as we're going to get, which is nice. And what we want to do is we want to use enough backspin, but we also want to leave our ball guideline through the hole, which is what you're going to see me do here. We're playing this at 15% elevation, and we're playing it at medium distance of our club, or 1-for-1 if you're using the sniper. So, you can see here that if I'm playing 15% and I'm playing mid distance of my sniper, in most case scenarios, 3.7 mile per hour at mid is 3.7. That's how you can play 1-for-1 with the wind. In most scenarios, that's going to pan out. Unless the wind is really high, then it's just going to be fractions off. So like if you're playing Tour 10 and you're playing mid distance, and let's say you get an 11 mile per hour wind at 15%, you can see it's 11.1 instead of 11.0. But in rookie division, where we're going to get like 2.5 mile per hour wind up to 4.5, mid distance of your sniper at 15% is always 1-to-1. So that's how we're playing it here. And then I'm also going to talk to you about pull angle. So you can see here that I settle up on 3 bars of backspin. I've got my ball guideline going through the pin a good deal amount because of the headwind and because of how far our landing spot is from the pin. Okay. So I want you to notice here, look at my wind angle. Look how it is favoring the left-hand side. So when you go to pull your rings, you always want to have that wind blowing as north as possible. And in the most ideal world, it would just sit there and stay north. But that's not how the game works. It flickers back and forth. Sometimes it flickers from north to north right, north to north left. It kind of bounces all over the place. Well, when you're looking to dial in a shot in a tournament, it is always best if you can take the same approach every single time with the same wind angle pull. So on this one, this was my second attempt at the hole. The first attempt, I pulled it at 15%, played 1 for 1, and I missed to the right-hand side. So what I decided to do on this one is eliminate any type of flicker from north to north right. So now I am only letting that orange arrow only flicker from north to north left when I pull the rings, and that's going to make my ball favor the left-hand side of the cup more. I hope that explained pull angle to you when it comes to like an 1159. So on this one, even though I'm not using a hard 1159, I am only letting the wind flicker from north to north left and completely eliminating the north to north right. That is something that will make you a better player overall at Golf Clash if you can use that type of structure when it comes to your shots. So anyways, there are the par threes. I hope that I was able to help some people walk through how I do elevation and pull angle. Again, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up button. Best of luck in the tournament. And after this, my rookie walk